This is a very important topic, but it is a little bit advanced, and so it doesn't always get as much attention as it should. And I'm going to show you why it's extremely valuable for you, especially in regards to how you establish or set your QC specifications. So the agenda today, we're going to start talking just a very little bit about regulatory requirements and vocabulary, calibrate, and then we're going to talk about the various topics: calibration, correlation, bias, linearity, and then we'll spend the most time on Gage R&R. And then we're going to apply that to QC specs in the topic of guard banding. And then a relatively new topic, we're going to look at how you can do a dry lab, which is sort of a short version of a Gage R&R. So let's start up at, here's some texts that I recommend. Mostly people spend their time or use this MSA4 here. It is the premier worldwide standard for metrology. I mean, I have no companies, clients in Switzerland that are using this as their primary reference, even though there are various ISO standards, etc. They use this because basically it's just been around the longest, and it's the premier standard. There are other books on it. Here's one by Wheeler, and he has a chapter on guard banding, and he calls them different name, but here's other things: guard banding with confidence, and so on. Various articles that I have that I found useful, and if at the end of this webinar you have it and you have questions that do not get answered, please, you're welcome to write to me at my personal email, or you can write through the company, compliance trading. And even if it's a month from now, please, you're welcome to send me questions, and I'll try to answer them. There's also some more information about metrology and so on my my website, and I give that site right here. So little regulatory requirements. 1345 talks about needing, that you as a user should be providing, as a manufacturer and designer, I should say, should be providing evidence of conformity to requirement. That doesn't mean necessarily that you just use a calibrated equipment. Is that calibrated equipment calibrated adequately? Is it the right piece of equipment? Only if it's calibrated adequately and the right piece of equipment is it actually evidence of conformity. ISO 9001 not as specific in its requirements. The medical device directive for the newest version talks about tracing product, taking calibrations back adequately. Unfortunately, they do not give any advice on what they mean by that. There is a guidance document on 13485, and they say something along the lines of that you should have your measurement uncertainty consistent with the required measurement capability. So anyway, there's a little bit hint that you're supposed to make sure your measurement uncertainty is somehow in compliance or appropriate for whatever your requirements are. Now, in my experience, I used to work for MDD registrar and used to do MDD audits. What most of the auditors seem to be doing is tracing this adequately. They're going to mainly be looking at whether or not your test equipment is calibrated in the range of use. That's just what I see people auditing to. So, but there's more to it than that, and I'll explain it during this webinar. Little vocabulary here. So Accuracy. Accuracy, if you look up this drawing up here, this looks very accurate, right in the middle of the target. But so is this. Accuracy has to do with the average value of several measurements. And the average value of this is right on target. So is this right on target? These two have equally accurate results here. Now this is very tight configuration, but it's way off target. So this is very inaccurate. Now, unfortunately, a lot of calibration companies will assess your equipment by doing a singlet measurement. They'll take one of their calibrators or gold standards, and they'll take a single measurement, and then they'll report that somehow as the accuracy. Well, technically speaking, you cannot assess accuracy without taking multiple measurements. And in fact, if you look at the calibration certificates of your calibration company provides, they're not going to say accurate